Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Does that work? Is that not working? Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? I don't know. I still don't hear. Is it not working? Test. This is a test. Come on, seriously? Can you guys hear me? One sec. Test. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Oh, brother. It's not one thing, it's another. Okay. Well, the video's lagging, because of course it is. We'll get it squared away, guys. Alright, so what's up, guys? So what I was trying to say at the top was that the Madden 20 contest is today. We're shooting for a $200 goal through combined super chats. And if we reach that, I will give away a copy of the new Madden game. Whether you want a physical copy or a digital copy, that's up to you. But we'll do that. And hopefully we reach that goal. That's what I'm really hoping for. My computer is like super slow today. It's driving me nuts. So we have no current Super Chat champions. There we go. There's the first one. Ken Terminate by Google, $10. Hi, Champ. Is there a way we can hear a shoot story on Graves? I don't know how the chat room feels, but I think Corey Graves is the best modern-day Keller analyst. So there you go. $10. I just called it. Ken is the Super Chat champion, and he gets a spin, and Psycho Jack Black with $2. All right, I'm gonna have to make sure I got all these here. Not a champion, but you're in for the tournament. So here's how it works. If you guys donate at least $1, then you get an entry into the Madden contest. So right now I'm up to 12, so that's a good start. And I will draw one of you randomly at the end of the stream, because if we hit 200 and then I draw and we don't get close to 400, then I want everybody who enters to have a shot at it. So I'll be drawing at the end of the stream should we hit that $200 mark. But Ken did ask for a story about Graves, so I'll let you guys know about that. I didn't have a whole lot of dealings with Corey Graves, but despite the fact that he trained me, we worked a few shows together. It was right before he actually went to Ring of Honor and then eventually NXT. So, working this show in Butler, and he shows up, and it was one of the funniest things, because he went up to all of us and he introduced himself. He was like, "Hey, how you doing? Dave Batista, how you doing?" It was funny. But he also, speaking of Batista, he actually told us a story of one time he was working, I don't know if he was working Velocity or Heat or one of those shows. And then they didn't end up using him for some reason, so he sat in catering and watched Batista eat cereal. Classic. I'm sure he doesn't have that problem now. I mean, he's a freaking one of the main commentators on the main roster, so he's probably good now. I thought I had to land the wheel on a road story to hear a shoot on Graves. Yeah, you know what? I gave you that one for free, didn't I? Because you asked the question, but you do get the spin regardless. Let me tilt it down. Like I said, it wasn't much of a story, but all right, okay. And we're gonna spin this wheel and see what happens. And not only do I have shirts of pro wrestling tees, I do have a couple on Teespring. I have to make like a picture to show all the ones I have available. But that notwithstanding, we're gonna give this thing a spin and we're gonna see what happens. Which way does it go? It spins this way. Here we go. And we get an entrance right off the bat. So Ken, let me know what entrance you want, and we'll get on that. So, and hopefully the video quality picks up again. I'm not sure why it's lagging so bad. I wonder if it has anything to do with me being on Facebook and all that stuff. Moment. I bet that does have something to do with it. So you get to determine your entrance right now. I need to wrap up just mentally. I've done the Lacey Evans one before, if you're wondering about that. Let me refresh this YouTube page. Hopefully, I don't know why it's so bad. It's a stream today. You want the Rick Rude entrance, alright. So let me pull up Ravishing Rick's entrance theme. Alright. So let me I actually have done the Corbin entrance, Mr. Anderson. I have done that before. Alright, so let me do this one. Tilt it up enough. What I really need is to get a bigger room. There's not enough room in this place. Alright. Give me a second. And per request. This is actually taking a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm trying. Give me a second. There you go. Got Ravishing Rick Rude's theme cued. Hopefully the video doesn't lag too terribly. But here we go. Ravishing Rick Rude. got the music. What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape YouTube pissants to keep the noise down while I take my robe off. Hit the music. That was a lengthy one. There you go. I need to refresh my YouTube page because it is super laggy. It's a super lag. It's super laggy. Yeah. So, all right. So we're just a little bit into the stream. I don't know what YouTube's deal is. I may actually have to use one here, like to follow along the chat and stuff.
The World Wrestling Federation.
Skip the ad. Alright. So here we go. Now we're back. We're looking good. And that's what you get. That's what you get when you get the entrances and whatnot. I know I'm like way behind on the chat. Let me try and catch up a little bit after the freaking. Keith Johnson said earlier on, why is no one talking about how AEW sold out their TV premiere from an almost 20,000 seat venue? Well, it has been talked about a little bit. It's very impressive. They sold out in 2 or 3 hours, and that's pretty good. I mean, their first TV show. Let's hope they can keep that up, because if they can actually prove that they can sell tickets on a continual basis, then there you go. I'm looking at like the smaller shows like Fight for the Fallen and stuff like that, and you really can't base everything off of that. Like that and Fyter Fest, those aren't like super big shows. They were just shows, and they give those away for free. So it's you can't really base AEW's quality off those shows because they were kind of like, I mean, they were kind of like the network specials like SmackDown and stuff like that. It's just, hey, you get to watch the wrestling and don't expect like something huge. Like with probably All Out, they're probably going to do something huge with a TV debut. About a month later, they'll probably do something huge just to set up for that. And I don't know. I really hope AEW does well. Mr. Anderson, why is no one talking about how Roman Reigns can't sell after lighting and fixtures fell on him? Well, apparently they missed him completely. It was such a weird ending to SmackDown this week. Like the fact that he got up and walked away, it was like, I don't know, it's strange booking. Like you almost got me, but you didn't. And everybody freaking out like he was just like got his head crushed, and Reigns is just walking away like, what? Get away from me. It's like, I don't know who wrote that segment. Like, if stuff would get knocked down on him and he would have, like, been laying there unconscious and whatnot, that probably would have been fine. But then they even took to social media. It was like, oh, it was just a forklift error. Who is writing this stuff? Like, storyline continuity is terrible these days. And they tried too much of the bait and switch to, like, ward off the smart marks, the smarts, as it were, and it's not working. So weird. Best modern analyst is Marlon Howard, by the way, says Mr. Anderson. CC Drink in the house, that's hi. How you doing, CC? I did give you a free one, Ken. Mr. Anderson, was Corey Graves always a cheater? Like, did he cheat on his wife back then when you knew him? First of all, I don't think Corey Graves was, well, he might have been married, but I didn't really talk to him super often or about his personal life. You have to remember, like, I only knew him for like a few months. And it was sporadic that I even saw him. So we never had like super in-depth conversations about anything other than wrestling. Mr. Anderson says, you know what's funny? I don't think Greg has ever done Corbin's entrance. I have. That was actually one of the first ones I did. Maybe in the future I might request a Luger entrance. What about Raven? Says Second Jet Black. Mr. Anderson says, rest in peace, Harley Race. Obviously, you know, the legendary NWA World Champion, Harley Race, passed away. Also well known for his managerial services of Big Van Vader in the early WCW days. So don't forget about that also. Raven, doesn't he just walk to the ring and sits at the corner? Yeah, Raven is... Yeah. Sega Jet Black, Greg Cherry is more over than EC3 and Robert Roode. I hope so. Like, I don't think I'll ever get that. And both of them have been 24/7 champions. Which I was planning... I was kind of hoping I could go to Pittsburgh and win the 24/7 title, but Maria's champion, and I don't want to be that guy. So it was worth a shot. But if Truth would have still been champion, I probably would have gone for it, or Drake Maverick, either one of them. Really, any of the male superstars, I guess it doesn't matter. But Maria is like, yeah, I don't want to be responsible for that. Have a smoke and relax is in the house. Perfect time to join. Yes, me doing my rude entrance. Ken says, I heard from Jeff Meacham that you were legitimately sad that Mr. Race passed away. I mean, I'm not as familiar with his NWA time as Jeff is. Obviously, Jeff is like a National Wrestling Alliance like mastermind. But, I mean, you can't ignore the contributions to the business that Harley Race had. Fantastic promo guy, fantastic wrestler, fantastic manager. I mean, it could be argued that he had talents, like, as far as managerial and promo, the level of Bobby Heenan. Because Heenan was also a wrestler, a manager, and, well, he was a commentator too. Harley Race, not as much on the commentary side. Well, he's not as often as Heenan. But yeah, it's definitely huge loss for the wrestling business, and he'll definitely be missed. Mr. Anderson, who do you think will win SummerSlam? Roman Reigns or the light fixtures from the backstage area? I'd probably have Reigns go over then. Reigns would probably pin him anyway. Mr. Race is arguably the best heel of the 70s. Too bad the young generation wouldn't care about Race and other great NWA champions until they pass away. The thing with the NWA, I really think that they could license some of their stuff to WWE, to the WWE network, and allow some of that older classic footage to be shown if they haven't already. I know there's like a bunch of NWA stuff for when they were WCW. I mean, right now, Jeff and I watched Flair and Steamboat, which was technically NWA, but like even like current stuff from the NWA, I think they need. The NWA is not featured as much as it could be, especially with the classic days with like Dusty and Flair and the Horsemen, Harley Race, and all those guys. You need more focus on the NWA. Mr. Anderson, Rikishi did it for The Rock, I heard, referencing Roman Reigns. Well, Kish was backstage at Raw, so maybe he did it to Zeus. You never know. Sure, would you be surprised if Heyman wrote the Roman storyline? I would be surprised if Heyman was a great booker for SmackDown and ECW. I don't know. This one doesn't seem like a Heyman one. If it was a Heyman one, it would have been better right off the bat. Mr. Anderson, I thought Eric Bischoff was in charge of SmackDown. Apparently, Bischoff is in charge of getting like the transition from SmackDown to Fox. Apparently, it's not a creative thing. But again, this is just speculation from articles we read online. Ken says, my favorite Harley race moment is when I heard a story from Dustin Rhodes that Harley went after Owen for ruining his barbecue party. Something tells me that Harley is chasing Owen right now. That's very possible. Harley Race is not a guy you want to rip because he'd get you back. Mr. Anderson, did you see what Drake Maverick tweeted? He said he's man enough to go to Maria's appointment and pin a pregnant woman. Then Drake's wife tweeted back, you aren't even man enough to consummate a marriage. Yeah, Renee Michelle is like super attractive too, so I don't know. I don't understand why nobody is, it's like, in reality they probably did, let's face it. But as far as storyline, that'll be his true championship win once they bring it up the story. Anderson, speaking of Twitter, did you hear about the story about MJF attacking Ty Dillinger for sleeping with Peyton Royce? What a scumbag and piece of shoot. Are you talking about, well, Ty Dillinger and Peyton Royce are engaged. Do you mean MJF making a meme that he slept with Peyton Royce? Gary's in the house. What's up? Cherry, my man. Watching this live stream on my break. Need something to keep it insane 14-hour shift, and this does it. What are your thoughts on the sellout for AEW's first show? I actually just covered that. It's great for them. Like I said, I hope AEW does well. The better the business does on all fronts is better for the business as a whole. So AEW doing well means WWE should do well. The pro wrestling business as a whole should do well. Good for them. I'm very happy for them. Eli Bands, sup man? I saw a video and Baron Corbin remind me of Big Bubba Rogers in WCW with the suit. You know, it's funny. I was watching the Baron Corbin video yesterday from Up, Up, Down, Down. It was Corbin and Breeze talking. They were just telling road stories, and it's absolutely hilarious. Like, I can only imagine how fun the Sweets, which is Corbin, Breeze, and Ty Dillinger's, Sean Spears, channel. Like, if their Twitch channel or Mixer channel or whatever they have. And they're just hilarious. If you've never seen Up, Up, Down, Down or The Sweets, go check them out. Fantastic stuff. Ken, Cherry, yeah, what a scumbag if MJF is trying to get under Sean Spears' skin. Give credit to MJF. As young as he is, to go that deep and that personal to get yourself over as a heel, it's great heel work. I mean, he is such a dick. Such a dick, and it works so well for him. All right, so far, Ken is the reigning Super Chat champion, and we still got a ways to go before I give away that game of Madden. We're at $12 right now, which we started off hot, and then we kind of tapered off. But the more Super Chats we get, the closer we get to drawing that Madden game, and I'm not going to put the names in there just yet because we got to get a few more in here. If we don't get anywhere close to 200, then I guess it's not happening today, and it's just kind of a failed experiment. But I do want to get up there. Mr. Anderson, Greg, how would you increase the Raw ratings to beat NFL Monday Night Football? Because that's coming up soon. I don't know. Raw always seems to struggle during the NFL season regardless because it's the NFL. The NFL always gets most ratings. Honestly, if a Steelers game is on Monday Night Football, that's what I'm watching instead of Monday Night Raw. And it's nothing against the WWE, like the quality of the product. It's just NFL football is something that a lot of people tune in to watch. And they can and the thing is, they can catch up with WWE anytime. Like there's not a lot of replay services for stuff for the NFL. Like it's unless you get like the NFL Network or like any like NFL video package or something, you can't go back and watch games because it's one thing to go back and watch games, but when you go back and watch wrestling games, like okay, I can catch up by doing that. It's harder to do that with football because a lot of people around you watch football. Didn't WWE overshadow Monday Night Football during the Attitude Era? I don't know about their ratings. I don't know. It'd be very tough. I can't wait for the season to begin. NFL is back, baby. Yeah, I actually just I was at Dave & Buster's on Thursday with a couple of friends from out of the country, and we got to sit there, and the Hall of Fame game was on. The Broncos and the Falcons. The little bit I saw, I was not impressed with what I saw, but it's preseason, so I'm not super worried about it. Diab in the house. Eli Vance, I can see Lacey Evans drafted to SmackDown. I don't think they're going to do another draft. I mean, they may. Jeremy, what's up? Former Wrestling Trivia Challenge contestant. Almost took the title from me at the end of season 4, by the way. He's very knowledgeable. What do you see happening after SummerSlam heads into Fox in October? Was Raw let down to you on Monday? I thought it was decent, but I've heard a lot of negative. After SummerSlam, I feel like they're going to ramp up. They're going to ramp up the first SmackDown on Fox to be they're going to make it a big show. It's basically going to be a pay-per-view on TV. That's kind of why I see it as. But Jeremy is also the current No DQ Super Chat champion. So let me put that in here. Takes the title from one Ken terminated by Google. So we're up to $22 now. We're getting there. And Jeremy, you get your spin, which he's a cent short. I'm not going to be that guy. So here we go. I need to put this on like a platform or something. There we go. That way I don't have to tilt down as much. All right, let's see. Where we're at. All right, Jeremy, here is TJS in the house. What's up? Jeremy, this is your spin. Let's see how we do. Jeremy, you get to request an entrance. So there you go. Let me know what entrance you want me to do, and I'll do it. Gary, Greg, my niece Janice is currently a sophomore at Notre Dame. That's awesome. She sends me 2 tickets every year. We should perhaps get together and grab a beer sometime, talk about football, and perhaps you could go to a Notre Dame game. That would be sweet. I'd make that trip out. That'd be a long car drive from Pennsylvania, but I'd do it. I don't drink that, so I'd probably find something else, but that sounds awesome. Especially if you could get tickets to the USC game, because they're ridiculous. So yeah, Jeremy, you can request an entrance. And we're $22 into the 200, so we're starting off pretty decently. Mr. Anderson, I feel like Kofi needs to lose the title soon. I don't know how everyone feels about Kofi being champion. I do have Facebook, yes. If you want to send me some information on there, either facebook.com/PASensation or facebook.com/Pennsylvania Sensation. I got really creative, didn't I? One of them's the fan page. Jeremy wants Vince McMahon's entrance. That's a good one. That's a good one. You got it, my friend. All right. Mr. McMahon, interesting. Stream's not working again. It's flickering. Crying out loud. I wonder why. Well, let me try and I'll do this interesting the best I can, and let's do it. Come on, don't be that. All right, Mr. McMahon's entrance. I wonder if I need to adjust something on here. Give me a second, guys. Because I can't fix it in the middle of the stream. It's fine. Very nice. Oh, I think I know. I wonder if I turn around the quality of this. Alright. And if it's requested, I'll do it again. I don't have a problem with that. Let me see. Okay. Take down the quality on my end. Maybe that'll help. Alright, so here we go. Vince McMahon entrance. There you go. Here's the Vince McMahon entrance for you. Readjust. All right. All right. So there's Vince McMahon's entrance for you. Right. So we got a couple people entered into the Madden drawing. Of course, we have to hit 200 to get to that drawing. So let your friends know. Let all the people know. Let's make it happen. The Mets are rolling over the Pirates. Of course they are. The Pirates suck. I'm a Yankees fan anyway. How bad is it? I can't see a score. Oh, 11-0. Okay. Jeez. Pirates suck so bad. Eli Bands. I just wanted the SmackDown roster to be good like the old days of Ruthless Aggression. See, it's not necessarily the roster's fault. But the thing is, nobody is really made out to be a super big star. I don't know what they have to do to get that done. It's crazy, though. Gary, have you played the new Madden game? I'm not much of a gamer, but I'm always down for playing Madden. Funny you mentioned that, because I'm giving away a copy of Madden if I reach $200 in Super Chats. Invite your friends. Even if they don't watch wrestling, we can turn this into a football chat. I don't care. I'll talk football all day long. Just have them be like, hey, go in here, send in $1. That's all you need to enter the contest. Obviously, if you send in more, you get more entries. But that's the goal. Like, I want to hit the. I kind of want to do a giveaway a month, but if this doesn't work, then it's kind of blowing up in my face. So invite your friends. Let them know. I'm giving away a copy of Madden if I hit $200 in Super Chats or Streamlabs, whatever. Actually, if you want the game faster, Streamlabs would be better. Ratnick says WWE doesn't want a big star; they want a bunch of stars. That's the problem. If they need a figurehead, like you associated early or late '80s, early '90s with Hulk Hogan. You associated mid '90s with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. You associated the late '90s with Austin and The Rock, and you associated some of the 2000s with John Cena, and maybe mid 2010s with Roman Reigns. You don't have that right now. Like even Reigns. I mean, Reigns is still there. Lesnar is there, and on occasion, and Rollins is there. But you don't have anybody who really takes it to the next level. Ken says if you super chat, you might get a chance to play at Madden 20. That's correct. You don't even need to submit enough for spin on the wheel pen set. I mean, that's completely up to you because you get more entries that way. But for as little as $1, you get an entrance, or you get an entry rather, into the contest. I think my dog's trying to open the door. Gary, did you see the trailer for WWE 2K20? I mean, it was the ending. I mean, the ending was Roman and Becky. That could lead to an interesting storyline with Roman and Becky turning heel by having one of them turn their back on Rollins. I don't look. It's the video game trailer. I don't look into it that too much. But then again, in previous years, they've had the cover stars or people in the game come back. Like they had Lesnar come back in 2012 when he was part of the WWE 12 game, which came out in 2011. You had Sting be a feature character. He came back. You had Angle be a character. He came back. You had Mysterio as one, and he was already back by that point. Diane, Rollins has really cooled off, I find. He's probably going to get raped by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. The problem with Rollins, the fact that they shoehorned that mixed tag match, which, by the way, the ending to that match was great. The Corbin and Evans versus Rollins and Lynch. The ending to that was great with Corbin hitting Becky with the end of days, and then Rollins going nuts. Going over to comfort Becky, and then Lesnar takes advantage. I mean, that was brilliant. That finish of that pay-per-view, regardless of your thoughts on Brock Lesnar, was brilliant booking. It was fantastically done. But Rollins needs to find, he needs to find something. He's trying to be too funny. That's the problem with babyfaces. If you don't have that, comedic timing, you're not going to come across as funny. It didn't work with Cena. It didn't work with Reigns, and it's not working with... Cena was occasional. It didn't work with Reigns, and it's not working with Rollins. If you want your face to be, your top babyface, to have some comedy to them, they need to be able to do comedy. Ken says the Rollins promo was dreadful. The writers should stop making him have humor. The writers should stop full out writing their promos, I think. If they don't, it's like I said, I bring this up every time somebody talks about the writers writing their promos. We never would have got Austin 316 if somebody would have wrote that for him. It at least wouldn't have come off as well if they came up with that. Gary, it sucks because that would never happen, but Bischoff said in an interview that he would turn Reigns heel. Now is the time, especially the way AEW has all the momentum in their favor. I agree. I mean, Bischoff knows when to turn the main stars heel to, like, bump up their stock. It worked with Hogan, didn't it? Yeah, Rollins isn't the greatest promo. The fact that they've scripted it really doesn't work for him. Yeah, it's... Here's the thing. If you script somebody, you have to go into their mindset of what they would be like. You can't just put words on a paper and like give it to anybody to cut a promo. It doesn't work that way. You have to write the promo as if you are in the mind of that person, as if this person would say it. If it doesn't make sense for them to say it, they should not be saying it. It's insane. I hate it. DeVargas, this is America. Yes, it is. Gary says Seth wasn't that much of a credible champ. He needs to go back as a heel, but that's my opinion. Yeah, he's... I don't know if he needs to go back to a heel, because then who do you have as your top babyface on Raw? R-Truth? I think R-Truth is on SmackDown. I don't know. The freaking wild card rule has screwed me up with who's on what brand. I think they just need to like throw everybody in the hat and do a redraft after SummerSlam. Because I'm confused. I don't know who's on what show anymore. I mean, they did the freaking Superstar Shakeup for like 4 months, and nobody knows what's happening. Ken says Gary Rollins was an interesting champion after he cashed in on Rowan. It's true. He was. Of course, he was a heel. So. Ratnick, imagine The Undertaker debuting today and the writers giving him comedy promos to cut. Yeah. Didn't the writers write scripts when Taker was the American Badass? I don't think this whole script writing thing happened to like the mid-2000s. So Taker was already back to being the dead man at that point. But you notice, like, as soon as wrestlers' promos started going downhill, the products kind of started to go downhill. Like when they're scripted, they got scripted promos instead of like being themselves. Because everything about the promos feels so manufactured. Like if you want the people to invest in the characters, they need to be real. They need to emote how they would emote. Give them something to talk about and have them make it their own. You cannot manufacture hating somebody. At least not well. Ken says the wild card has got cuts another chair around. I mean, you've heard it every time I've done the stream. I don't care for the wild card rule. I'm glad it's going away. It needs to go away because it's stupid. Why have the brand split if you're going to do the wild card rule? Because it basically means the rosters are unified and they can do whatever they want. I mean, I thought it was stupid that Alexa Bliss, a Raw person, challenged for the SmackDown Women's title 2 months in a row. You mean to tell me your SmackDown division is so shallow that you had to have somebody from Raw come over and challenge for your title? Stupid. Jeremy, the wild card rule needs to die. They need to do another draft and have actual split rosters dedicated to one show. I just said that. Exactly. Jeremy, you and I are on the same page, brother. Like I said, after SummerSlam, they should do a draft show. Have freaking Heyman draft for Raw. Have Bischoff draft for SmackDown. Call it good. Leave the brand split alone. A SmackDown debut on Fox with their brand new roster. Have Raw keep doing their thing on USA with their brand new roster. And go from there. Figure out what you want to do. Yeah, the problem with Rollins is he didn't have a good heel to work with. Corbin tried, but it didn't work well. Then Rollins' promos just dragged him out further. I think Corbin and Rollins actually had good matches against each other. That's my opinion. And like I said, the finish to the Extreme Rules match, Corbin hit the end of days of Becky Lynch, called Rollins a piece of shit, and then Rollins beat the piss out of him. So I thought that worked well. It showed that Corbin was going to do anything to become champion. I liked it. And Corbin and Evans haven't even been on TV in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, Rollins was reaching Nia Jax's babyface promo level. Nia Jax should have never been a babyface, but it's neither here nor there. But champ, at least Ember Moon is going after Bayley's title, which just kind of surprised me since I heard that Vince is not an Ember Moon fan. If he wasn't an Ember Moon fan, he wouldn't give her a title shot at their second biggest pay-per-view of the year. I don't know where people come up with these. I don't know how true these stories are, or if it's for people to create like some sort of underdog thing. I don't know. My problem with Lesnar is he never levitates any other stars. He's like Pac-Man, just gobbling up everybody around him. Or Triple H circa 2002. I get it. I mean, you've had Lesnar lose at Mania to Rollins. You had Lesnar lose at Mania. Well, I guess since he come back, he's only lost to Triple H and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. He beat Taker. He beat Ambrose. Who did he fight at WrestleMania 33? He beat Goldberg. And he beat Reigns. And sure, you had Reigns beat him at SummerSlam, but then Reigns had cancer. So you give it back to him, and he keeps the title. I don't think Rollins is getting the title back at SummerSlam either. Gary says, poor Corbin is now going to be a big card of the rest of his WWE career. Too bad, because WWE picks favorites such as Rollins, Roman, Styles. Is it funny to call Styles a WWE favorite? Would you ever thought that 3 years ago? Cool Brothers Radio Podcast. Do a draft and include NXT. I mean, you could. You could send some of the guys that the main roster isn't using back down to NXT, and Triple H will use them just fine. DeVarga says 205 Live doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to check out the debate that was done, I mean, check it out after the stream is done. Eli bands. I mean, some wrestlers don't like rap music, some like rock, but if they do WWE, you can't pay copyrights, so CFO down there. So the CFO doesn't put out, like, he's no Jim Johnston, let's face it. Well, I guess I should say they're no Jim Johnston because there's a couple guys. But they do have some good themes out there. Reigns and Rollins beat Lesnar kind of fluke. Like, they only got lucky, but they make it clear nobody's on Lesnar's level. Yeah, and you know what? They ruined their chance with Strowman, too. They've had him against Strowman a couple different times now, and they won't pull the trigger. And people are saying, oh, they need to build Strowman back up. It's like, how? You proved he can't beat Lesnar, even after taking so many F5s. It's like, yeah. I'm not sold on Strowman being the guy to beat Lesnar and like go on a tear. I don't see it happening. But I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. So I'm not in the lead on the pay-per-view predictions right now. I am a current champion, but that's beside the point. Cherry 2 belts. NXT guys wouldn't want to come into a crapshoot like the main roster. Yeah, because I mean, after SummerSlam, if you do include NXT guys in the draft, the best time to do it will be after SummerSlam because that would be immediately after TakeOver as well. So then you could give a fresh start to guys like whoever's not NXT champion out of Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. Whoever doesn't win between Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's probably going to win the North American title. Like Velveteen Dream may come up after SummerSlam. We don't know. Shayna Baszler might come up to challenge Becky Lynch, which would be kind of sweet. But we'll see. Ken says Eli bans unless you're a celebrity like Punk or Rousey. You're not going to use a famous theme. I could be wrong, but I don't think the younger generation has heard of Joan Jett. Joan Jett did just perform at WrestleMania, so people might be a little more familiar. Yeah, I like Strowman, but I wonder if they're worried he's a little too one-dimensional. But then again, so is Lesnar. The thing with Lesnar is he can actually wrestle. Granted, all he does now is like suplex and F5s and stuff. But Lesnar can actually go. People forget about that. Gary, imagine if Candice LeRae gets into the main roster, she might get lost in the shuffle because there are many talented girls with a cute face like Candice. I mean, Candice LeRae is adorable. Absolutely adorable. So good on you, Johnny Russell. I don't know. But there's so many women right now that aren't even used. Like with Charlotte and Trish Stratus, I mean, dream match, absolutely. But the fact that you have to bring back a legend for a match and you can't utilize the talent that you have is a little concerning. Like, you should not bring a woman who retired 13 years ago from the ring to do a match now because your stars aren't big enough. You know what I mean? WWE really needs Sasha back, too. Like, that women's division is crumbling without Sasha Banks. And you don't think she's, like, as big of a deal. But let's face it, the women's tag team titles aren't doing much of anything. Yeah, they're being defended at SummerSlam. I think it's official. It might not be. It might just be rumored at this point. But I don't know. Cherry, why was the Goldberg-Lesnar 1 match such a debacle? Was it Goldberg's fault? It was a debacle because nobody cared to see it. Because they were both leaving the WWE after that night, so it didn't matter who won to the crowd. Goldberg was leaving because his contract was up. Lesnar was going to the NFL. Ratnick actually said ever since Suplex City became a thing, Brock stopped wrestling. That's true. Diab says, with my criticisms against Brock Lesnar, I agree that he doesn't have the talent. I mean, even the boombox briefcase thing, I was surprisingly entertained by it. It was funny. It was. Let's face it. Gary said, that's the huge problem. WWE is bringing the Hall of Fame just to get huge pop and making them a main attraction, but it's not. It's not working. Granted, am I excited for Charlotte and Trish? Absolutely. Would I like to see Shawn Michaels come back and wrestle another match? Absolutely. I mean, would it be cool? Yeah, it'd be cool. But you need to, like, who are your stars in the women's division right now? Charlotte? Becky? I wouldn't even put Bayley up there. She's a champion. Realistically, I put Sasha up there, but she needs to get back and start working again. I don't know what they're waiting on. I don't know if this is just time off for Sasha to, like, recuperate or what she's doing. But WWE's women's roster needs Sasha Banks. Really bad. Video Gamer Game says hi. Haven't seen that YouTube user before, so that's pretty cool. How you doing? We just got the Madden contest started about an hour ago. We're $22 in. We still got quite a ways to go before I can give out a copy of the new Madden game. And it doesn't matter whether it's on Xbox One or PS4. Like, I'll give you the code that you need. Yeah, Greg, I agree. I mean, Trish will probably win. I love Trish, but I find it hard to swallow that star who hasn't wrestled in a decade can be one of today's best. I don't know. They might just use it to put Charlotte over even more. We'll see. Ken says, was the Rock Cena matches a debacle? I thought they were entertaining but repetitive. They were a little bit repetitive. I mean, the first one was cool. Second one was not as much. Gary says it would be to see these matches with the Hall of Fame, but you got to build a storyline for a year. Yeah, the fact that they kind of just threw Charlotte and Trish together with very little build-up other than a promo on the King's Court, less than 2 weeks of build before your second biggest pay-per-view of the year. Come on, guys. Video Gamer Game says, I haven't watched WWE for a while now. Yeah. Diane says they were great, but Rock hadn't wrestled in a while. I thought it was odd they beat Cena on his first match back. Yes, we're talking about Trish Stratus, Video Gamer Games. She's wrestling at SummerSlam next Sunday. And Ken is right. If you do Super Chat, you might win the Madden 20 game. We gotta get quite a few more Super Chats in there to get to that level. But let your friends know. Let them know that if you Super Chat even as low as $1, you can get entered into the contest. But we got a ways to go. Video Gamer Games, Trish hasn't wrestled in a long time, but she's coming back for one match against Ric Flair's daughter. So, Eli Bands, how WCW used Rock Song and mix it up the same thing what WWE is doing. Look up WWE's themes that sound the same on YouTube if you want to. Yeah, a lot of, she does look the same. I mean, she does look a little older, but it's still Trish Stratus and she still looks good. You know who really looks good? Despite, like, being in her 40s and whatnot? Lita. Lita looks damn good. I love Trish, but come on, again, Charlotte, this should have been a match at last year's Women's Evolution pay-per-view. Well, Charlotte and Becky had a hell of a last woman standing match at Evolution, so I was fine that it was Trish and Lita in the tag. Absolutely, Video Gamer Games. I mean, we do talk a lot of wrestling on here. I also talk some football, talk some video games occasionally. That's why I'm trying to do the Madden contest. Been an hour. We haven't had a whole lot as far as the Super Chats go. Hopefully it'll kick up here in a little bit. But we'll see what happens. I wonder if any of those messages sent in the chats. The late interest still do look good, I agree. Like I said, Lita looks fantastic. Ken says, I'm more into Mickie James. It's a shame that she's somewhat of an enhancement talent. Has Mickie James even been on TV lately? Just spread the word with a few guys here at work. They love wrestling and football. Hopefully they'll donate some Super Chats, brother. I'm hoping. I would love to give away a game of Madden. I'd absolutely love to do that. Because all they have to do is send in a Super Chat. That's all they have to do to enter. Doesn't matter how much it is. But for every $1 they donate, they get an entry. So far, we have 3 people who've donated. Jeremy has 10 entries. Ken has 10 entries. And Psycho Jet Black has 2. So we've got some entries. I won't put them in until we get closer to the end of the stream at 6 o'clock Eastern. So we got a couple hours. We still got a little bit of time for them to start cranking in. I think once we hit like the $100 mark, like we can probably get there, but we're still a ways off. Ken says, Cherry, I think Mickey is busy with a country career, but who the heck knows? I mean, she may very well be. Like, she may be busy working on country music, or she might get, or she's injured. One of the two. It's definitely possible. But it is a shame Mickey's not on TV more. Like, the women's division seems to be lacking something. Like, it needs something to kick it in the butt. And maybe Shayna Baszler coming up could do that. Of course, it didn't help that Ronda Rousey basically bulldozed everyone in the division before she lost at WrestleMania. I'm really dying to donate some super chats, but mortgage, lights, and a couple other bills tap me out. Gotta love the single father life. Gary, even if you sent $1 in, you're in. It doesn't have to be any more than that. I know you probably want to do the spin the wheel pen send, but I'm not going to ask you to push your luck. And yes, bills are a bitch. I agree. So for as little as $1 you can enter, and who knows, it may be the only one you need. Cool Brothers Radio Podcast. Who wins between WCW and WWF and Invasion angle? But the catch is the company didn't buy the other company. Well, if you had, it also depends on when it happened. Because if it was like 98 WCW, WCW would probably win. But if it was like 2001, that roster, even against WWF, WWF would have won, hands down. The right company won. I don't know how much different it would have been. I think they could have at least held the Invasion off for a while. What's up, Zach? How you doing? They could have held the Invasion off for a while until they actually secured the contracts of all the people. Y2 Woody, hey, Mr. Cherry. I've been in Portugal for 5 days and had a serious abscess in my throat, so couldn't drink, talk, or open mouth for 5 days. Jeez. But you're here to watch the pen set. I appreciate the watch. Hopefully you're feeling better now. Couldn't eat, drink, or talk. Phew. That's brutal. For me, I wouldn't even worry about the talk part as much as eating or drinking. Yeah, Zach, you did miss me doing Ravishing Rick Rude's entrance. I hope I did it justice, Ken. My nose is like super itchy. But yeah, I've done Ravishing Rick Rude's entrance. I've done Vince McMahon's entrance. I don't even know if I have it set up to. Let me know. Glorious. Oh, I won't give in. I won't give in. We still got a ways to go for the Madden contest too, guys. Whether if a bunch of people send in $1, you get entries. But we got to hit that 200. I want to give away a copy of Madden. It'd be so cool to say, hey, we had a great show today. I did a bunch of entrances, maybe gave out a shirt or two, and also gave out a copy of Madden 20. I'd really like to do that. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Again, even if they don't watch wrestling, be like, hey, if you watch this guy's giving away a football game on a wrestling stream. Hey, check it out. All you have to do is send in $1. Or more. It can be more. More dollars you send, the more entries you get. Eli Bands. Ken, I saw it. I didn't know Apollo Crews theme was stapled by Kanye West song. There's Ken says, speaking of Rude, I feel sorry for Robert Roode. The only singles title he's ever won is 24/7 and NXT title. He was United States champion too, Ken. Back in early 2018. He actually won a tournament. The good part is I lost 21 pounds in that time, so I got to lose weight without doing any exercise. There you go. You know what? I was sick like 10 years ago. There's King Daddy Dev, baby. What's up, you douche? No, I love you, Dev. You know that. Yeah, I was actually sick about 10 years ago. I had like some really bad flu, and I didn't want to eat anything for like a week. I lost like 30 pounds. Best weight loss plan ever. Get super sick so you can't eat anything, or you don't want to eat anything. It was brutal. It's like early in my wife and I's relationship too. Nick Man, aka Atlanta, Spain. Hey everyone, how you doing, Nick Man? And yeah, Ken, Robert Roode's U.S. title run was very short. He won it in a tournament on SmackDown, and then lost it the next month to Randy Orton, who then lost it at WrestleMania to Jinder Mahal, who then lost it a couple weeks later to Jeff Hardy. But the U.S. title was very much a hot potato in 2018. Ratnick, that's called the AIDS diet. I didn't have that, I'll tell you that much. Ken says, Neat Bang, you missed some good entrances from the champ. Yeah, if you're here early, you get to see all the fun entrances I do. Of course, I guess you have entrances whenever you want. Kurapika 07, Rude should go back to NXT. They dropped the ball with him. He probably should. He probably could go back to NXT and be used very well there. Eli, you know EC3, Young, and I'm guessing you mean Rude, is a stable main event. Why Vince can't do that for Raw, which is sad. Y2A, today has been the first day in 5 days I've been able to open my mouth to drink some water. It was on IV drip for liquids for 2 days. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I can't imagine. Alright, so get my plugs out of the way. Well, there's a lull in the chat. YouTube.com/luckofthedraw. Go check out my game shows. Go check out. I uploaded a ton of backyard wrestling footage up there last week. It's not very organized or anything like that, but you can find some of the stuff I did. I may do some sarcastic commentary on. We'll see. Streamlabs.com/luckofthedraw1. If you want to send me a donation that way as opposed to Super Chat, you're free to do that. You'll get a fancy little graphic popping up and everything like that. PA Sensation for my Twitter and Instagram and my Facebook too. I have a Facebook fan page that you can go check out. Facebook.com/PA Sensation. You can go at PA Sensation on Twitter, at PA Sensation on Instagram. I keep it very simple and across the board. So go check all those out. Diane is asking if I'm going to SummerSlam. I wish I was, but I actually just started a new job, and I'm going to be working a crapload of overtime. So, unfortunately, I will not be making it to Toronto, despite the fact that it's not super far from me. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it happen. Eli Bands. Ken, you didn't know that those the TNA 3 are in the stable for the Lucha House Party. Why would he start for being so gross here? How's everyone else doing? Doing alright. I feel like every time I enter this room I get super stuffy. Drives me nuts. I really need to get the freaking I need to put one of my backyard matches. I really need to get my backyard wrestling videos as like a. I mean, I guess I could. I can work on putting another scene in here. Add a new scene. Backyard. WWE. Just put- So the screen will go black for a second, but I'm gonna try and get a video up here for you guys to watch. So, we're gonna try that real quick, and let me see if I'm gonna try and find one of my backyard wrestling matches that hopefully I can upload. So here we go.
Here comes Canadian Ice, main eventing his 4th consecutive Spring Bash, looking to win his 4th BYWE Championship. Will he be able to win his 3rd main event?
I want to see if you can see that real quick. Let me know if that worked. Okay, it did work. Cool. Sweet. Let's get into the work context. All right, so you guys are clearly able to see that because it came up with my thing. What I'm going to do for you right now, and you guys can send in some you guys can send in some super chats for the Madden contest and all that stuff. This match may take a while, but it's okay because I really want you guys to see this. I'm going to go down and get a snack and hopefully watch this with you guys. This is actually a backyard wrestling match that I was in. So, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Were you able to hear the brief little bit of audio too? Because I just tried to do this real quick on the stream. So, if it worked, then I will do this. And I'm going to get a snack, and you enjoy a match from 2006 called Spring Bash 2006, the fatal 4-way main event for the Backyard Wrestling Entertainment BYWE Championship between the one and only David Schwartz, Canadian Ice, tons of fun, and yours truly, the Pennsylvania sensation, Greg Cherry. There you go.
Here comes Canadian Ice, main eventing his 4th consecutive Spring Bash, looking to win his 4th BYWE Championship. Will he be able to win his 3rd main event? Yeah, tons of fun! Hey! 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 The one and only. What the fuck? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, fine. Fuck you, audience. Oh, you got served. You got served. You got served. You got served. Let's get out. That's what it's gonna be like all day, Cherry. You don't belong here. Go back to your commentating desk, Cherry. I am the one and only. You're the one and only cocksucker? Yeah, we know.
You could get on that cock all day.
Ooh. Come on, Sherry. I'm tinier than you, and I can take these 3 oafs. Go ahead. Test of might! Test of might! Oh, shit. Come on, David. Do you give? Do you give? I don't think he's gonna give. I didn't think so.
With the commentary, Dan. Yeah!
Ooh.
Yo, Canadian Ice!
Run in circles, run in circles. Oh shit. Run away, run away.
Put that kick down.
dash dance. Oh shit. Jerry, get away from me. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh, hi, Greg.
Don't grab his balls.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh, Canadian Ice.
Oh shit.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Pray for their families. On a ping pong ball.
1, 2. Cherry just had a seizure. Come on, you pansies.
Get him off.
We gotta give the audience a good show. Come on.
Right. Got one distracted.
Oh shit. Oh! It's a lot of weight coming down. Should I move? I want to see a swanton bomb. Come on, everybody! Swanton! 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 Yeah!
That was crazy. Ew. Ew.
1, 2, 3. Is that a cover? Do you give? No. Are you sure? Come on, pussy. Come back to your commentator's desk. You want the edge? You want the edge? Okay. Oh. I think he has the edge. I can't really see, though. All right, he's got the edge. Get off him.
Get wrapped.
Can't compete with us.
Oh, snap! Yeah, get him away from the edge. What? Come on, Rap. Come on, Cherry, get up. Come on, I'll help you. Never mind. You get it. Oh, shit! Do you guys give? Do you guys give? Out of the way. Out of the way here. Jerry, get back in the fucking ring.
Yeah.
How's this? Nice.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna need some ice. 1, 2, pushed out. Oh, 3. That was definitely 3.
I think Greg popped his cherry.
Oh! Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Oh, shit.
Jump off the bench! Jump off the bench!
Come on. 1, 2.
Got the greater grace!
Oh, do you give? Do you give? Give!
No!
Almost. He's got the edge. Get off him. 1.
Oh, you missed it there. Come on, Canadian Ice. Jump off the bench! Use it! Use it!
Whoa! Shit! 1, 2.
Oh, no!
1,
Got too cocky.
2.
That's right, you don't have a cock. Get up! Get up! The one and only! Straight down!
1, 2.
7!
2. One, 2, 3. Ice is out. Take it off. Do you give? Oh, do you give? Do you give? Spit at me, asshole.
Oh! You bit the mat. Uh-oh. What's that, Greg? You're gonna butt rape him? Get on up.
Oh. 1, 2. 2. Do you give, David? No. No? Do you give? One, two, two, two. Oh shit! 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 Oh! One! Two! Ah!
Get him, Greg! Get him for the 9 count!
Our fans are idiots. Give him a Hurricane Rana, Dave.
Do what the ref said!
Oh! One, two, three! It's over!
Yeah! New title match, Frankie.
I have music, you know. Where my belt?
What belt?
My belt.
What belt?
Give me a belt.
You want this belt? Hey fans!
Yeah! Even though I did not expect Greg to win, but the ref still won!
Yeah, zero!
The ref? Yeah, the ref! The ref.
Step for zero, step for zero.
Alright, that's enough of that. So, a bunch more of those videos and stuff is over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/luckofthedraw. I don't think I missed any super chats while I was gone. I did not. So what do you guys think? We're still trying to do the Madden contest, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys enjoy the match for what you saw of it? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to show you some of those, more of those in the future, but you can also go over to my Luck of the Draw YouTube channel and check them out yourself if you so choose. Anything else going on? But the chat just died. Slow, quick death. McIntyre loses to Cedric, then McIntyre might turn into enhancement talent, which is sad. By two ways, that's not Canadian Ice had it. You know, he did do well for himself at previous Spring Bash events. Not that one, though. I think McIntyre is going to get a huge push at some point. Knew you were going over Booker power. I wasn't the Booker. The guy I pinned was the Booker. So, imagine that. All right, so we're about an hour and 45 in. Jeremy is still the Super Chat champion. At this rate, it doesn't look like I'm giving away Madden today. But you guys still have an hour to prove me wrong. Still think you guys can do great things. MJF is starting to get Ty Dillinger's skin as a shoot thing. It really is a joke. If it's a work, I'm fine with it. I imagine he would have had to have cleared something with Ty, with Sean Spears, whatever. I think Drew McIntyre needs something to help him out. I don't know what, but he needs like some serious momentum boost. Can't you give away FIFA to your non-American fans? If you want me, sure. Yeah, if that's the way you guys want to do it, that's fine. Although I know quite a few Americans who play FIFA too. That's fine. I don't care one way or the other. Aaron Reed in the house. What's up, Aaron? Wonder if I should do the contest on a pre-pay-per-view instead of just a random one. It's worth a shot because I'm pretty sure Madden just came out, so. But yeah, if we hit 200, you win the contest, and you want a game other than Madden, fine, I'll do that for you. No DLC though. Not that rich. You might be able to ask the same question, Mrs. Ordo. FIFA 06 on PS2, absolutely. I could do that for you. Gotta hit the goal, though. Gotta hit the 200 goal before I give away anything. Don't be surprised if Lars Sullivan comes back. He would be turned into an enhancement talent in the future. He wouldn't have gotten hurt, like, really badly, then he might. But he screwed up his shoulder somehow. Was it his shoulder? Alright, he's injured one way or the other. And it sucks for him because he was really starting to not super gain momentum, but he was probably going to be put in a big storyline. But now not so much. His WWE main roster career has been pretty rocky, to say the very least. What else is going on? I'm indifferent with Loris, but he's a talented monster. The thing is, he never really had a super important match, if you think about it. He had his match against the Lucha House Party at the greatest, or not the greatest Royal Rumble, sorry. Friggin', what was that show? Whatever the Saudi show was, Super Showdown. Jeez. It's apparently not even memorable enough for me to remember. Yes, TJS's boyfriend, basically. Look at Braun. He's an okay wrestler, not good on the mic and okay in the ring, but he needs a manager to make the next big thing. If he had a manager cutting his promos for him, that'd be fine, but these days, Sherry, that episode of WTC when you ran out of time and you're so pissed off. Oh, you knew I got the correct answer and Aaron decided to award the points to Jeff? Yeah. I made up for it, though. I made up for it by beating Jeff in the triple threat and then still being champion 500 plus days later. I'm fine with it now. At the time, no, I was not very happy. Can you believe that's been almost 2 years ago that I lost that? That was the last time I lost a wrestling trivia match. It was almost 2 years ago. It's hard to believe, isn't it? And I actually, for those of you who don't know, I'm doing a trivia match or a trivia tournament for the Mark World Order podcast. If you want to go check that out, it's wherever podcasts are available. And I am doing that one. And I just made the finals last week. So there's another tournament match coming up this week. The winner of that faces me in the finals, and then I go to face, should I win, which probably should, I will go on to face the champion, who is undefeated. I have Greg here, the Brock Lesnar Trivia Challenge. Nobody can compete. Well, hopefully somebody can compete as soon as it comes back, whenever Jeff's and my schedule syncs up. Mark Griffith, hey, I attended Extreme Rules in Philly, and let me tell you, the pop Brock Lesnar got me cashed in was the loudest thing I've ever heard. Brock equals ratings. You know, everybody craps on Brock Lesnar, but you know what? Because he doesn't defend the title or whatever, but that's just, I think it's just smarks trying to bury him. Well, let's face it, Lesnar makes the championship a big deal, because when somebody beats him, it's a big deal. That's how you make a star. That's what happens with 50-50 booking. It's a problem. I've actually passed Brock Lesnar's title reign, by the way, his Universal title reign. So next up, I think, is Pete Dunne's UK title reign. I'm going for that one next. Good time out there, good idea. Like Yokozuna and Mr. Fuji. You agree with Rift, you were done with Lesnar a long time ago, yeah. But if the WWE isn't, we gotta deal with them. Or not watch WWE anymore. I mean, it's sadly not our company to run. You know, if you guys know of like anybody else doing wrestling trivia, let me know. Tweet me at PA Sensation. Let me know, because I've been having fun with the Mark World Order thing. If I win the championship there, that's fine. But I kind of want to do a little. Was it the Expedition of Gold? As the Broken Hardy would say. Broken Matt Hardy, yes. If you know of any. Mark Griffin. I've been at over 200 live events. Brock's Pop in Philly was the loudest I've ever heard. There's still a strong demand for Brock Lesnar. I mean, Brock makes people pay attention. Let's be honest. If he didn't make people pay attention, he would not be the Universal Champion right now. In fact, he probably wouldn't have a contract. Yeah, Lesnar probably is going to be champion for the long haul again. The problem is, nobody has really set themselves apart to overtake that Lesnar throne, if you know what I mean. Nobody's really shown that they can carry that torch. And behind Lesnar, King Daddy Dev, let's be honest, Corbin needs literally every title in existence. There you go. See, I would have been fine with the Corbin Universal title run. I would have been perfectly happy with it. I know a lot of other people wouldn't have been, but I would have been completely fine with it. Yes, Universal, Intercontinental, WWE title, United States title, both sets of tag titles, 24/7 champion, NXT champion, North American champion, NXT tag champion, NXT women's, Raw women's, SmackDown women's, European title, 6-man tag title, all of them. Every single last one of them. Corbin should go back down to NXT and win the NXT championship. He'd be so hated. Him take the title from like Adam Cole or Johnny Gargano. Corbin never won a title in NXT. Actually. Corbin's first championship was the United States Championship. It was only, unless you count his Money in the Bank win, but not a lot of people do. New Japan titles, AEW titles, all go to Corbin. And there you go. Every single championship. Corbin can have every single title that has ever existed, except the Wrestling Trivia Challenge title. That one's for me. I gotta have something. I do think Corbin would. Who's champion on Raw? United States. AJ is. Crap. I was gonna say Corbin for United States champion again, but or maybe put him in a tag team, have him be half a Raw tag team champions. But the thing is, all the champions on Raw, as long as the women's title, are freaking heels. Corbin will have more titles than vacant in WCW. Yeah, that's true. I don't think anybody's ever going to surpass how many titles vacant has. It's kind of hard to do. Aren't you all excited for the Librarian to get a Corbin-like push? The Librarian. It's an AEW thing, Ken. The Librarian is going to be AEW champion after Jericho. Going to be the second champion. The Librarian is going to beat Chris Jericho to become AEW champion. I think Bacon should be in the WWE Hall of Fame in the near future. I mean, Bacon does deserve it. What's up, Mike Nixon? How you doing? Trying to get a Madden contest going. We're an hour away, and we're still a long way from that goal. So there we go. There's a little bit closer. King Daddy Dev with a $10 becomes the Super Chat champion again. Well, Ken, I don't know if the Madden thing is going to happen because I said 200 and we're nowhere close. But he does get a spin. That he does get. Let's see. Here we go with his spin. What's that on? Is that on Dance Break? Sure is. It's on Dance Break. Mark, you'll have to let me know. Did they pop when Corbin hit Becky with the end of days? All right, let me pull up my dance songs on here. I may have to bust out Too Cool's dance again. I don't have a whole lot of dance songs, but Dance Break playlist. Okay. There we go. Got tilt up so we can do the dance break. What the heck? There we go. Almost sat down again without tilting. I need to get like a camera that is remote controlled. Curtis Butler says, Greg, do it for The Rock. I did it for The Rock. He said, can I do it over? I'm completely lagging. Weird. I really need to figure out why I'm having so many stream issues today. I should just download this. Now completely frozen. How weird. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out. I have a fear where if I switch networks, I wonder if that's part of the problem. Yeah, I bet that's part of the problem. So how do I win Madden 20? Well, I was trying to get up to $200 as total super chats, Dev. So if we hit that, you're already entered. Like I stated, that was the explicit goal, was $200. Or even if we got close, I was probably going to do it. But unfortunately, we're only at $32 right now. So we still got a ways to go, which is still possible. It's still possible that somebody could swoop in and send in a bunch of super chats, but the odds of it aren't super high. Watching this in the NFL Network right now. There you go. You know, something I do plan on doing once the NFL regular season starts, it'll probably, my Sunday live streams might go away for a while. I do want to say that. I just want to prepare you guys, because it's going to be very tough for me to do that and watch football at the same time. So something I'm planning on doing is going over to my channel, doing Steelers post game, and also like streaming the Notre Dame games live. My reactions to them, at least. But unfortunately, my Sunday live streams might be ceasing for a little bit. All right, Dev. We'll see you later. I just want to let everybody know about that because I know some of you guys look forward to the live stream every week and look forward to the discussion, but if there's other stuff I'm doing and I won't be able to do it, then you can always join me over there. So, if you want to watch Steelers post-game stuff, you want to watch more football content, which I do plan on doing, go over to the youtube.com/luckofthedraw channel, go subscribe over there, and you can go see that once the NFL regular season starts. Which I think the Steelers' first game is on Thursday, so my first post game is going to be a late night thing. So I just want to pass this along. For anybody who's like all anti-WWE and stuff, Trevor Murdoch posted something on his Facebook that when I came to Harley Race, his last couple days of life, that he needed to be transferred from Atlanta to St. Louis, and he needed to take a med flight because he was in rough shape, and Medicare wouldn't do anything about it. Call was made to WWE, and 10 minutes later, his flight was paid in full. Vince McMahon never blinked an eye. He wanted to make sure that Harley was taken care of. So Trevor Murdoch got a couple more days with Harley Race, thanks to Vince McMahon and getting him better. So that's a cool story. That's a cool story. For as much as people rag on Vince McMahon, him doing something like that to take care of somebody who used to work for him is awesome. Raleigh is a great athlete, but ever since his Battle Royal victory, he's done squat. I don't think Raleigh has ever won the 24/7 title. Jerry can correct me. No need to. He hasn't. Yeah, Mojo Rawley has done a big pile of jack shit since winning the Battle Royal 2 years ago. I knew as soon as it happened it was going to be a complete waste because nobody cares about Mojo Rawley, and he's friends with Rob Gronkowski, the former New England Patriot, because Gronk retired. So, and he probably, if Gronkowski decides to sign with WWE, that'll probably be when Rawley actually does something. But it'll probably be in favor of pushing Gronkowski over him anyway. So, good for Rawley for still having a job, but at the same time, he hasn't done anything, and I don't know what can save him. His like broken glass paint over his eye thing is weird. I don't know. You don't have to throw a couple football questions to you. So, what is your Super Bowl prediction this year? It's only early in the preseason. And second, who are your top 5 running backs in the league? Well, this was something else I was thinking about doing. Is live streaming my fantasy football drafts in a couple of weeks. I haven't looked to see who's available yet. According to Yahoo, the top running backs are Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Kamara for the Saints, Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers, Cook for the Vikings. They actually have Le'Veon Bell up there, but is he ever going to show up for the Jets? James Conner's up there. That's nice. Todd Gurley, who's actually surprisingly low from what I thought. Nick Chubb for Cleveland. There's a bunch of them up there. Saquon Barkley's a beast. I mean, the former Nittany Lion has done very well for himself with the Giants. So, good on him. But it's very hard to pick a top 5 because number 1, the preseason is just beginning. Number 2, we don't know how injuries could play in and where people are going to be. So it's easy to do a top 5 beforehand. But right now it's hard to do. I mean, right now you have Saquon Barkley as your possible number 1 draft pick, but he's only he's actually pretty low on the totem pole as far as all positions. Wow. They just have quarterbacks ranked in the top whatever? I'm pretty sure the quarterbacks are like the top 50 spots. It's insane. Jared Goff is actually ranked ahead of Drew Brees, which is weird. Ken, do you follow basketball since you follow football? No, I do not follow basketball at all. So I know the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship. That's all I got. No, Ken. The dude that did the segment with The Miz was LeVar Ball. He was basketball. His sons play basketball. And he was the one, or his son dropped the N-word on live TV, which made for a super awkward segment. I don't know why they would invite him to Raw, just because of his name. It's like, why? He brought nothing to the show. Absolutely nothing. I don't follow the NBA. I couldn't tell you anything. I only kind of half follow college basketball once March Madness hits. But even then, if I don't do a bracket, I don't care. Basketball, it's funny because I play basketball and done commentary for basketball, but basketball is probably my least favorite sport. I love football. I love baseball. Hockey's okay. Yep, no problem. But aside from that, I don't know. So we got about 48 minutes left in the stream. If we got like a nice influx of people super chatting, like they just all come in, they donate $1 and they get an entrance. They get an entry rather. But I have a feeling like it's not going to happen. We don't get too many people on these streams, sadly. I may have rifted at the freaking sending them a bunch of donations. Or maybe I just need to cut these back to 2 hours. Like me doing the 3-hour ones are crazy. So what else is going on, guys? I do follow baseball. I'm a Yankees fan. I feel a little sorry for Pete Rose. He's blacklisted from baseball because he gambled. Yeah. Apparently he was betting on baseball games, which apparently is a bad thing. Or he was betting on his own games or something. I'm not sure the full story behind it, but I know that gambling was involved. But yeah, it sucks for Pete Rose. I don't know if anybody's even going to. They'll probably never be lifted. Thoughts on the AFC North this year? It should be a competitive division. I think the Browns are actually going to be a threat this year. Of course, I'll always say the Steelers should win the AFC North because I've got to say that every year. It should be interesting to see how they adjust post AB and Le'Veon Bell, but I don't think the offense is the concern. If they step up on defense, the Steelers will be on top of the AFC North without a problem. The Browns will be a challenge. The Ravens will be somewhat of a challenge. I'm not worried about the Bengals. I'm really not. The Bengals are going to be the new Browns. They're going to be terrible for years to come. I'm just not impressed with them. I think AJ Green is hurt in the last year of his contract. Vontez Perfect went to Oakland. It should be an interesting locker room with him and Antonio Brown in the same place. Well, when did OJ get inducted in the Football Hall of Fame? He was inducted in 1985. So all the stuff with OJ's like trials and whatnot were after he was already inducted. Chris Butler says Baltimore and Steelers. That's it. The Ohio teams are hype on paper. Like I said, I'm not worried about the Bengals. The Browns actually showed some signs of life last year, so we'll see. I was asking Mark if Baron Corbin got a huge pop when he hit Becky Lynch with the end of days. I heard a big reaction. I wasn't sure if it was positive or not. Mike Gonzalez, I think the Browns are going to disappoint. Well, that seems to be a yearly thing. So they very well may, but I'm going to give the Browns credit where it's due. I think they could be decent this year. I don't think they're going to win the division. Well, obviously, got to say my Steelers are, but I think that the Browns are actually going to be better than the Browns of previous years. Yeah, they've been Clevelanding all over the place the last 20 years. But I think this might actually be the team to do something. LeVar Ball on Raw was bad. It was like Hoda and Kathy Lee bad. What's up, Mr. Anderson? I don't know how to explain it, but I'm glad that they're not. But they didn't become like a recurring guest or something, because that segment was way more than we ever needed from them. They didn't need to be on the show at all. In fact, there's quite a few celebrities that probably should never have been anywhere close to a Raw ring or SmackDown ring or whatever the case may be. Did you get my question, Mark, or are you confused? Did I not say it? Lagging again. But yeah, Mark, I was asking, essentially, did Baron Corbin hitting the end of days on Becky Lynch get a huge pop from the Philadelphia crowd? That's what I'm asking. Curtis Butler said the ball segment was dumb. Absolutely it was. So pointless. Didn't add anything to anything that was going on. I don't know how relevant. Are you talking about Jerry Springer? He's probably the worst celebrity guest in WWE history. I doubt it. I mean, Jerry Springer at least added a little something to the show. Mr. Anderson, I think the best celebrity segment on Raw was Bob Barker and Chris Jericho. Absolutely it was. Bob Barker was a fantastic guest host, so entertaining. Mark Griffith, the whole crowd went nuts when Corbin hit Becky, but why edit out Becky's boo? They want to protect their baby faces and heels. I mean, it's like when they silenced the crowd for Roman. You want to make it look like they're more over than they are. But if people are getting sick of Becky already, then they're getting sick of Becky already. But you know that Natalia's going to get cheered in Canada. You know for a fact she is. Yeah, Bob Barker was a good guest host. We could probably do it again, honestly, but he's at least 90 then. And Bob Barker is currently 95. Yeah, what was the greatest whodunit case in WWE? Who ran over Stone Cold? Probably that one. Or probably the Hummer storyline, since we never figured out who did that. Mr. Anderson, I haven't seen Baron or Lacey on Raw in 2 weeks. Yeah, they haven't been on the show. I bet they probably won't have a match at SummerSlam either. They go from main eventing a pay-per-view to not on the next show. That happens. If there isn't a space for them because they want to work on other stories, then there isn't a space for them. So keep them off TV. Natty is probably going to get a good pop. Does Natty have a good demographic with Canada? I would think so. I mean, the Hart family is worshipped in Canada, and deservedly so. I mean, they're fantastic wrestlers. I think Natty's going to get quite a huge pop. The thing is, like, it'll all depend on match placement, too, because I feel like Natty would get a bigger pop if her match with Becky was earlier in the night, especially if it was before Charlotte and Trish. I would probably open SummerSlam with Becky and Natty. Honestly, I would. Curtis, you don't think Corbin should have ever main evented a pay-per-view? I disagree. I think Corbin and Rollins' matches against each other were great. I enjoyed them. And the finish of the Extreme Rules match was very well done. Just in opinion. Maybe it was Baron Corbin that tried to injure Reigns on SmackDown this past week. That's possible. They could do Reigns and Corbin. Just as something different. But the thing is, Corbin's on Raw. Reigns is on SmackDown. Keeping it real, so speaking of the Canadians, what did you think of the Owen Bulldog teaming? Was it long-lived? I mean, they're related, so it was a good team. They were tag team champions, too, for a while. I think they did well for themselves. What else does everybody think? Corbin couldn't draw even if he had a pad and pen. Well, apparently Rollins couldn't draw either. What up, Nick? How you doing? Rollins apparently was one of the lowest drawing champions in WWE history. And Kofi's not much better. In fact, he might be worse. Who has been the worst gimmick in WWE history, in your opinion? T.L. Hopper, the plumber. Terrible gimmick. In fact, basically look at any gimmick that came out of the mid-90s that didn't get over. Yeah, basically any gimmick in 95. Man Mountain Rock, Friar Ferguson, Santa Claus, T.L. Hopper. Basically a bunch of terrible gimmicks that should have never seen the light of day, but unfortunately did. Keeping it real, Kofi is better than Jinder. Apparently, not according to house show attendance. Apparently, Jinder was a better drawing champion than Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston. I was not aware of that. Then I saw the chart. I was like, oh my goodness. Jinder Mahal was actually a champion who drew better than Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins. Mantar was pretty bad as a gimmick. Also, mid-90s. Isaac Yankem, mid-90s. Who else? The only ones who have charisma are in NXT, period. That's because their promos aren't scripted for them. That's because they're allowed to go out there and be themselves. And Those tickets were already bought and things were hotter back then. You have to wonder. You have to wonder what it's going to take for another wrestling boom. Kane must win the award for the most variety of gimmicks in a career. Isaac Yankem, Kane, Mayer. Don't forget he was fake Diesel. How about Beefcake? Well, Beefcake's gimmick got him to the Hall of Fame, so can't knock it that much. But if you're talking about like the Buddha Man and the Zodiac, the Disciple, all those things. Kevin Owens doing the stunner. Hey, he got clearance from Austin to use it, so. Did anyone hear about Seth Rollins sending nudes to Caitlyn? Yeah, I saw those reports. It's a little weird. If I were WWE, I'd keep Seth Rollins out of the main event scene for a while. Not even just because of that, but just because they need some fresh faces in the main event scene. And I don't know what it's going to take. Like the Raw roster right now. Who are your main baby faces? Rollins, Ricochet, Braun. Yeah, I gotta look because the wild card rule screws me up so bad. WWE Raw roster. The Miz, I guess. Search Raw superstars. It's finally they list Bray Wyatt as a Raw superstar. Cedric Alexander, I guess. As far as top baby faces, they don't really have any. Yeah, the Raw roster, as far as baby faces go, is very, very weak. Why not, Mr. Heavy Metal Hero, dude? Miz is better as a heel. He hasn't really gotten his fair shake as a babyface this run either. SmackDown, who are your main babyfaces? Ali, Kofi, the New Day as a whole, really. Balor. When I have to look to see who's on which roster, because I'm not sure, you have like the problem is with WWE, Brock Lesnar, and this might get a lot of heat for me, but Brock Lesnar may be the only legit main event guy in WWE right now. Is the roster Raw babyfaces as weak as the 205 roster? I think the Raw roster is worse off. You have so little star power on Monday Night Raw. It's no wonder the ratings are going down. You have nobody. But you have Rollins, yeah, who's. But Rollins isn't like a huge star. That's not a knock on. He's super talented. Like Seth Rollins is ridiculously good at what he does, but he doesn't have like mainstream crossover appeal. Lesnar does. Not a lot of people have mainstream crossover appeal. Lesnar's the only established main event performer. It's true. And I don't know what they need to do. I really don't know what they need to do to up their game. Mr. Anderson, I want to see Paul Heyman turn on Brock Lesnar and align with Drew McIntyre or even Baron Corbin. I don't see a Heyman turn on Lesnar ever happening again. It just doesn't make sense. Reigns, who's this established main event performer, maybe he should stay away from the world title. Well, if he stays away from the world title, then who else you got on SmackDown? Like Randy Orton's basically part-time anymore. And he's getting a title shot against Kofi. You don't have stars anymore. That's the problem. With all the 50-50 booking WWE does, everybody is on an even ground. Nobody stands out. And it's frustrating. 50-50 booking is garbage. I don't know who came up with that idea. Fickle and fake fans have flip-flopped on Lesnar this year. You wanted him to go away, now you love him. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. The thing is, like, who else? Who else do the fans have, really? Like, people got sick of Rollins 3 months into his reign, and now he's not champion anymore. Mr. Anderson, I'm just wondering what Daniel Bryan's announcement is already. I'm waiting for him to not do one at all and then just forget about it because WWE creative. I don't know. I really don't know. I think Daniel Bryan's announcement is about the Earth and how it's flat. He's not AJ. Anybody remember the Talking Smack segment with Daniel Bryan calling out AJ Styles for being a flat earther? Bryan Danielson can be a funny heel. The Gus run was fun, but his heel run makes him stand out. I like how he's gotten away from the comedy a little bit, though, and trying to make everything he does like super serious. His WWE Championship run was it was a nice change of pace. I don't know though. He may have been the one to face Reigns at, or might be the one to face Reigns at SummerSlam. We will see. Or it might be somebody like completely different that nobody's expecting. Or AJ still wearing non-stop Jacob jeans. Oh boy. Roman and Becky are the cover stars of this year's WWE 2K game. I just found this out. I did see that. All right, so we got about 20 minutes to raise $170. I have a feeling it's not going to happen. I believe stranger things have happened. This one, I'm not so sure. So everybody, invite 15 of your friends. Have them all donate $1, and I'll give away a copy of Madden. Wolf Bryan's announcement is he's getting a new stable to join Adam Cole. Mayday. They probably won't. Apparently, AEW did well for themselves because now in the previews before Hobbs and Shaw, they actually have a promo for AEW on TNT. Well done, AEW. For people going to see a movie with The Rock and Roman Reigns, and why not promote yours? I'm looking at something from Madden. We should get the Super Chat Championship here. It's the dumbest way in the world to make money, but it seems to work. Well, it seems to work for Aaron. I mean, he sells Super Chat Champion shirts, I think. Yeah, we should get something like that. All right, guys, we got 10 more or 20 more minutes left. About 18, whatever. If there's anybody who wants another spin, that's fine. Might just cut these down to 2-hour streams. 3 hours is a long time. Could see Adam Cole dethroning Kofi Kingston WWE title reign. That'd be interesting. But he'd have to lose the NXT title and then come up to SmackDown. Which would probably mean that freaking Undisputed Era would fail in all their championship matches. And then they debut on SmackDown. They take the SmackDown tag titles, they take the Intercontinental title, and they take the WWE Championship. And then there you go. Mr. Anderson, I'd rather have 3 hours of Great Cheer than 3 hours of Raw. I appreciate that. 2 hours, yeah, on Fridays, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with these streams come football season. Like I said, they're probably going to be few and far between. So don't expect to stream every Sunday once September hits. Because it's going to be insane. But there's always going to be streams on my channel for Notre Dame football and for Steelers postgame, so there's that at least. So what else? Do you guys want to see another entrance? Send in your super chats. Maybe we'll or are you guys sick of me already? I was hoping to give away a copy of Madden. It does not look like it's going to happen though. Sorry guys. I tried. It didn't work. Too bad we can't stream a Steelers game with you. Yeah. The thing is, like, NFL is like super worried about like copyright stuff. And, like they do that any use of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited thing. It's like, I can't do that then. Tuesdays or Thursdays, we'll see. It'll really all depend on how much I'm working, because I'm about to work a crap load of overtime also. So we will have to see. I do want to do, like I said, I do want to do Steelers post-game stuff. So that'll hopefully be something to look forward to. It would be fun. Unfortunately, I don't think my internet package will let me stream a Steelers game, even if I was allowed to. Brian needs a big man like Ron. He already has Rowan. He doesn't need anybody else. He really doesn't. I heard WWE originally went Lars Sullivan instead of Rowan. That would have been interesting to see. I wonder if that was probably around the time of Strowman, or not Strowman, but Lars Sullivan was having all his freaking panic attacks or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, guys, that the Madden contest was a bust. I feel bad because I was really looking forward to it. I even wore my Steelers jersey and everything. And it just didn't happen today, guys. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I really do. Because that was part of the goal. Was to get people to send in super chats to give away a game of Madden. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It is what it is, though. Chris Butler says, I got Raiders games, Yankees advancing towards the playoffs, and the almighty FSU on Saturday, so my time is limited too. Yeah, September, October time frame is a busy time in the sports world for me as well. We've got Steelers games, got Notre Dame football, and like you said, the Yankees killing it in the American League right now. Keep Boston out of the playoffs, and I'll be happy. Boston's on like a 7-game losing streak, aren't they? Okay, their game's tonight. How far back is Boston from the Yankees? 13.5 games back. And we're in just in August. I mean, granted, ground can be made up before that. Champ, it's all good. At least I'm the only Cherry fan who's wearing the Tough and Worthy t-shirt. There you go. The shirt that you want off this very stream. Mr. Anderson, I hate all Boston teams. Me too. Me too. Screw them all. The Red Sox, the Patriots, the Bruins, the Celtics. I don't even watch basketball, but they're just from Boston, and screw them. Screw Boston College, too. Screw them all. Just have Aaron to drift some of his audience to this platform. When Aaron's actually on the streams go really well. But he's like super busy or something. If I got all the people from Aaron's stream on here, we probably could have given away at least 2 copies of Madden. But I wonder if on this channel if it would be better if I gave away like 2K20, like the WWE game on here or something. I'd probably do a little well. Ken says, Boston Punk's got to get on your ass to Mr. Anderson. He's already got on mine for my distaste for the city of Boston. It is what it is. Well, whatever happened to Luke Harper? Yankees are, like, I think they're either tied or they're super close to being the best team in baseball right now. So that's like the Dodgers. What am I doing? Yeah, the Dodgers. There's the Dodgers. And the Houston Astros, too. Like, where did they come from? The Astros and the Dodgers are both like 1/1000th of a percent higher than the Yankees as far as winning percentage. It's okay. The Yankees still have a nice, comfortable lead. Of course, it's August. Boston Red Sox blew a 9-game lead in September and didn't even make the playoffs. So there's still a lot of baseball to be played. About another 40 games or so. I wonder why Harper's getting the Leo Rush treatment. Harper wanted to quit in the past, but the big man is very talented. Curtis Butler says Boston sports fans equal stain on the underwear society. Nice. You know, apparently, and I don't know how true this is because I refuse to go there for games, but, like, Boston sports fans, and this is a generalization, so take it for what it is. Apparently, like, they're some of the nastiest, most racist fans of all sports. Like, apparently some of the Boston, and that's not all of them, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's good ones. But apparently, like, during some baseball games in friggin' Red Sox Stadium, they just shout, like, all these slurs at these baseball players. It's like, come on. I think it's not even the Yankees just that they do it to. It's like other teams. It's like, dude. I'm salty from last year's World Series. I'm an LA Dodgers fan. I'm salty anytime Boston wins anything. Trust me, Red Sox won the World Series, Patriots won the Super Bowl, and then the freaking Boston Bruins were in the Stanley Cup Finals. And they almost won that too because I went to Game 7. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Boston's going to win 3 out of 4 of the top sports championships within a calendar year? Are you kidding me? I don't think Boston punks on this shot. Curtis Butler says they are. Okay. I mean, I'm not a Dodgers fan. Obviously, I'm a Yankees fan. But I was rooting for them to win the series because anybody but Boston. ABB. The irony is most of the best players on the Red Sox are black. Well, think of freaking David Ortiz. Like one of the most famous Red Sox players in the last however long. I don't get it. Oh well. Well, thank you guys for the super chats that I did get. Unfortunately, the giveaway isn't going to happen. But I mean, it was an experiment that I tried, right? I tried to get more people interested in watching the stream, and it just straight up did not happen. It is what it is. But once I get another wheel spin, I think this is it for me. So go to youtube.com/luckofthedraw. Go subscribe over there. Streamlabs.com/luckofthedraw1 if you ever want to donate to one of my streams. If you don't want to use the super chat feature, you can use that. That's fine. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @PA Sensation. go over there, go subscribe, go follow me, whatever thing you got to do on social media. And unfortunately, I will not be in Toronto next week, so I'll probably be on here. I might start at 2 o'clock Eastern because, or maybe I'll just do 3 to 5. I might just do 3 to 5, and because the pre-show for SummerSlam starts at 5 o'clock. But I think that's it for me. So until next time, until next week. I get it, Curtis. Maybe next week. No giveaway next week. Unfortunately, no giveaway this week either. Once we get a consistent audience on here, then maybe I'll try and do another one. But we'll see what we can do. Until next time, guys. I'm the Pennsylvania Sensation Greg Cherry. Go follow me on all the social media. Go tell people about this stream. Go tell people about me in general. And let's try and build an audience, and we'll do this again next week. See you guys.